Believe it or not, the only active church on Red Square is the Church of the Icon of Our Lady from Kazan. It is remarkable with the icon, or which we call as the Icon of Our Lady from Kazan, and it's always related to the military feats of Russian state. The original church was unfortunately destroyed during the Soviet times, along with the Voskresensky gates. And this one is a replica, but I would say exact copy of that one which existed before. And it was completed at the end of the 20th century, after the collapse of the USSR. Well, it is located, I would say, in a very nice spot, close to the State Historical Museum and just on the street with the beautiful lights. This street is known as Nikolskaya Street, and people come here especially to take photos with these lights. The lights can be changed during the year, and they always represent the seasons of the year. So in this case, these ones are looking like fluffs of dandelions to remind you that that's the summertime. Just next to the Lenin's tomb on Red Square, you will find the building which is stretching along the square. This is the building of State Department Store, or Russian abbreviation says GUM. So inside the GUM you will find plenty of shops, mostly of luxury brands. The building itself was completed in the end of the 19th century, and with this beautiful glass roof, it reminds us about the 19th century European or Western European railway stations. Let's go inside and I'll tell you more details. On the third line, on the first level, you will smell the fresh pastry. Don't miss the chance to get into Gastronom номер один, which is the supermarket #1. It's full of the products which were produced over here in Russia, with the fresh cakes and with the fresh pyrogi. Let's go. If you're craving the chocolates or some sweets, I recommend you to get into the Gastronom #1 and get the chocolates which were produced here locally on the Moscow confectionery plant called Krasny Oktyabr. It can be translated as a Red October. And how would you recognize it? If you see, there is a special emblem, Krasny Oktyabr. So it means it's a very good quality chocolate. The treat for those who are keeping the diet or don't want to have it with the sugar, there is the special dish which is known as pastila. It's made of egg whites and apples, and it tastes like apple, but sometimes it can be of different flavors, usually berries ones. So pastila could be found also in Gastronom #1. This is how it looks like. The lines of GUM can be transformed into the place for exhibitions and installations, but the main item to be transformed into installation is the local fountain or the central fountain of the shopping mall. So here you can find that now it's decorated with plenty of flowers while they are blossoming. It's summertime. And for every single season or the festival, it can be transformed into something else. When I'm reading the letters and different notes which were made by Catherine the Great, I always think that she thought that Moscow was such a village. She wanted to construct something which would remind about her to the local people. And within these construction sites was the construction of the modern, let's say, for that time, for the contemporaries, trading rows. So it was supposed to be also close to Red Square instead of the building of GUM shopping mall. Unfortunately, it was not completed. This building we are right now was completed in the 19th century and was closed at the beginning of the 20th century from the order of the new government, Soviet government. So reopened in 1950s, it became, as it's believed, the place where people could buy different products and all of them were available. But except for one sector, sector number 200, where the high-ranking officials, actresses or supermodels could purchase a very nice Chanel suit. And on the third floor, on the third level, you will find a canteen number 57 with a self-service. However, it's quite popular within the local people because here you can taste typical Soviet dishes for a very reasonable price. At the lunchtime, instead of the empty paths, you will find a lot of people standing in the line to get these yummies. The 19th century shopping mall or trading row was supposed to have everything for leisure time and for their proper shopping, including the restrooms. At that time, they were decorated in a very elegant style with plenty of mirrors, then with some music playing also, and even with a marble facing the walls. After the revolution of 1917, this place pulled apart, and only at the age of the 20th century, beginning of this century, the decision was made to renovate them. And now they have the interiors imitating the interiors of the 19th century. It's going to cost a bit more than the using of the regular restroom, which is on the third floor, but it's worth it. Here you even can take a shower, for example, if you stay in the city center and came earlier than the check-in time and you want to spend the time in the city center. So I remind you that it has 3 different lines, and on the tails of the lines you will find the little shops with ice cream. We say that it tastes like a childhood because it's produced according to a special recipe coming from the Soviet times. The price is reasonable, only 100 rubles, and the variety of flavor will just amaze you. You can get chocolate, vanilla, pistachio, then berries, and others, all the kinds of flavors.